back, and yes, we are wearing the same clothes as yesterday.
And the day before.
And the day before that. Throughout many points of this project, it has felt like the days have just been on repeat, with us not feeling like we're making a lot of progress, although working very hard. But that is not the case today. Walking in here this morning feels pretty darn good. We've made some major steps. We've gotten the kitchen cabinets in, we've gotten the bed frame in. We are just so close to being done. I can almost taste it. I'm feeling so good about today.
I'm feeling great. Today is Propane Day.
Propane Day.
And propane appliances. And propane and electrical, which don't mix the two because that causes explosions. So we're gonna do them separately.
Okay, fingers crossed for no explosions. Do you think you know what you're doing with this propane stitch?
Nope, but I got my pipe bender, I've got my pipe cutter, I've got my flaring tool, I got my grommets to run them through the chassis, I've got my pipe tie down bits and pieces, I've got my pipe.
It's like you're speaking a different language.
Yeah, I'm talking piping.
And all of this is to power our propane oven and stove, as well as
hot water heater, which hasn't arrived yet. But it's going to go in here. One line is going to come up from the bottom here. One line is going to come up from here behind the oven. And they're both going to run back to this dual regulator, which is going to be housed at the front of the trailer. Easy peasy, right? Mm-hmm. Watch this take 6 hours. But first, we have to spray down the wheel nuts because we need new tires. Turns out that the tires we have are probably the original ones because of the sizing on them is like really old school. And we gotta take the tire nuts off so that we can get new tires and replace them before we can drag this anywhere.
Another expensive project.
The fun never stops.
Let's grease these bad boys up and get them off.
Yeah.
One extremely flat tire that I ran all over town looking to replace yesterday, and that's when I found out that these tires are really old and nobody had a tire like this.
Let's let that sit for 8 hours a day whenever we get around to it next.
So what sort of tires are we looking for?
So we're looking for 225, 75 R15 tires and a load rating of at least C.
I don't speak tire language, but...
Neither did the guys at the tire shop because these are 7-inch on 15 LT and they didn't know what the hell it was.
I went to 2 different tire shops and nobody knew what to do to help me.
Except for the old guy who was just like, I haven't seen these since the 70s. Yep, that probably makes sense. The young kids these days, they don't know what they're talking about.
That includes us.
While I'm down here, may as well put these grommets in. Rubber grommet, made in Taiwan. And it's the wrong one.
No, darn. I went to town specifically yesterday to get this. Why is it wrong?
The hole in the center is 3/4, and I wanted the flange to fit a 3/4 hole. Maybe we'll just cut the hole bigger. I love that aluminum is so soft.
So what does this do?
Stops the metal jaggedy edge from cutting into the propane line.
While James toys around with our new propane system, I am going to get priming on our bathroom and closet wall so that we can do a final coat of paint on the entire trailer and have it looking super fresh. And the reason I'm using a crappy paintbrush to do this rather than a roller is because we didn't have any rollers left and I refused to go to the store again today for that one item. So paintbrush it is. How do people paint without making a mess? About to start painting the bathroom. James, what do you got going on with the propane?
I am trying to flare the copper pipe to fit these flare fittings. This was my first attempt. You can see that I didn't really take the burr off the copper pipe and it crushed it not very nicely. This one I took it off a little bit more, but didn't really align the pipe very well in the jig, but the flare came out much nicer without the burr on it.
Oh, it's great. That's like a trumpet.
Yeah, it's not quite good enough for gas fittings.
Okay.
So I'm trying a third time.
What do we say the third time?
Call a gas plumber.
Should we be calling a gas plumber?
No, as long as you check all your seals to make sure none of them are leaking.
And you check them with soap and water? Is that the trick?
That's it, right? Check it with soap and water, spray them down, and if it bubbles, then there's a leak. But if it doesn't, then you're good to go.
So we just threaded this copper pipe through our hole behind the oven. A little further. Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it.
What's wrong?
Put a kink in the pipe.
Frustration.
Well, there goes $20 worth of pipe.
It's the first time you've ever done this, so, you know.
Expensive mistakes.
Naturally, there is a learning curve. What do you think went wrong there?
Bent the pipe the wrong direction. It's difficult when you like lay on the ground and then turn your head upside down.
And you get your lefts from rights mixed up.
Basically. It's lefty loosey, righty tighty, right?
Yeah. Now we make a new one.
Yep.
You're practicing? A nice corner if I've ever seen one.
It's not the greatest corner in the world. Frustration. My good old friend. That's allegedly how you meant to do it.
Like third attempt and you're already a pro.
Well, should we try to destroy the other piece of copper pipe?
May as well.
Yep.
Only got one left.
No time like the present to have to go to Home Depot.
I need rollers anyways for painting.
We were naive to think that we could go a single day without going to Home Depot.
We were.
That's not the project life. Almost screwed it up. Didn't put my nut on. Shall I try this again?
I'll pull it up.
Came out a bit better, didn't it?
Oh, it's great.
Unravel this.
Good job. That old regulator's gotta go.
If If you ever have a choice between doing something the hard way and using an angle grinder, use the angle grinder.
Bye.
Much easier. I'll pick that up. There's not where it belongs.
Guess we could put the van in the trash pile too.
Hey, too soon.
Old propane pipe.
This side will run to the tank. This side will run across the frame to the hot water heater to bring us that lovely hot water.
Do it for the hot water, baby.
Do it for the hot water luxury.
We're gonna need a shower after rolling around on this ground.
I'm gonna have to shower every day just to celebrate having hot water.
So this is the original water tank, which makes it 53 years old. Kind of gross, but we do want to reuse it because it fits perfectly in the space under the seating area. So we're just going to clean it out with some bleach and baking soda, and then we've picked up some RV water tank freshener, and we hope that will do the trick.
And goes the bleach.
Like a third of the bottom. We'll just let the bleach sit in there for a bit and work its magic. Now you're working on electrical.
Yep. I've wired up our 110 breaker panel here. This guy. We've got our power running from the shore power into our breaker box. These yellow cords running out the bottom are going to run out to our circuits through our 15 amp breakers so that we don't blow any of our appliances.
Are you wishing you did this before we put in the bed and the wall?
A little bit, yeah. But that's just the way it goes. I guess she really is an Airstream now.
Maybe muffins will pop out.
That would be amazing. Maybe we'll grow more mushrooms in here.
Maybe like this.